I don't want to overreact, but we might have the second coming of Tom Brady on the NFL. But let's go ahead and break down Week 9 and find out. So we're starting things off, as always, with Thursday Night Football. This game between the Tennessee Titans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers winning this one undeservedly so by a final score of 20-16. And that's just Steeler football for you. Steeler football rules all, and it will lead you to victories you do not deserve and will push you to 500 records that you do not deserve at all in the slightest. And it screws out better teams like the Titans in this case that deserve a win that will not get it because they're facing the Steelers. Up next, we have the first Frankfurt game of the season. This one between the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs pulling away on this one 21-14. Kansas City played amazingly in the first half, jumping out 21-0. Couple of dull times, but it was a really good game for Kansas City in the first half. And then they decided that they were done and they were going to fly back to the U.S. or they wanted to go sightseeing in Germany. I don't know. But they did absolutely nothing in the second half, allowing 14 points and almost allowing the Dolphins to, tie it up and send it to overtime if Tua doesn't underthrow. Meanwhile, Miami, always struggling against the good teams. There are some genuine concerns for this team. They have a soft schedule the rest of the way, mostly, so they should be fine to make the playoffs. But they cannot beat a real contender, and until they can, I don't have faith in this team at all. Up next, we have a team in perpetual pain taking on Arthur Smith and the Falcons. You would think this would be a Falcons victory easily, but no. The Falcons pulling behind 31-28 against the Vikings. The Vikings having a rookie starting, Jaden Hall, and then he goes out with a concussion in the first quarter. So Josh Dobbs, who took no reps with the team and was a recent trade acquisition less than a week ago, having to teach the linemen his cadences in the game, comes in and wins the game 31-28. Just think about that. That is sad. Atlanta, you should be ashamed of yourself. You got a clearinghouse. And Arthur Smith, you are not using your weapons right. I'm sorry, but actually learn how to use your weapons and maybe we'll respect you more as a coach. But Minnesota, nice job overcoming that adversity. Unfortunately, it comes at the loss of Cam Akers for the season, it seems. But y'all are still looking decent and you still have a decent core with the potential of Justin Jefferson maybe returning here in the next few weeks. Up next, we have one of the biggest pretenders in the league falling to the Baltimore Ravens in embarrassing fashion. The Ravens winning 37-3 over the Seattle Seahawks. And Seattle, you're going to show up at any point. We're still waiting for you in Baltimore because 3 points is not what I would expect out of the Seahawks team. And yeah, you guys, if you keep playing like this, you are going to struggle, you are going to falter, and you are not going to do anything. The NFC West is looking absolutely disgraceful this year right now. And the Seahawks just proved it right there. Meanwhile, Baltimore absolutely dominating once again, turning themselves into a Super Bowl contender, looking really good doing so too. Up next, we have the Arizona Cardinals falling to the Cleveland Browns by a score of 27-0. The Browns absolutely dominating defensively, holding the Cardinals to 57 yards because Clayton Tune is not the guy. The Cardinals trading Josh Dobbs for one obvious reason in my mind. They wanted to keep the tank alive. Josh Dobbs was a threat to tankocracy, so they had to get rid of him and start the rookie. That's the only reason I could think of that they would have started a rookie over Josh Dobbs. Meanwhile, the Browns finally looking somewhat competent on offense and defensively just looking insane as always. Up next, we have the worst game of the week by far. The Los Angeles Rams falling to the Green Bay Packers by a final score of 20-3. This game was embarrassing on both fronts. The Packers-Rams went into halftime at 10 total points, 7-3. This was absolutely awful. Both teams played sloppy. Is there a way we can give both teams a loss in this one? Because both teams deserved a loss the way they played. Following up, the worst game could only be the best game of the week. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers losing to the second coming of Tom Brady and CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans. Man, CJ Stroud is him. 470 yards, 70% completion percentage, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That is an MVP caliber stat line, and that came out of a rookie with next to no offensive weapons and no defense to work with. Think about that. Put CJ Stroud on a beautiful team. Throw him on the Eagles. Throw him on the Chiefs. Throw him on even the Niners. And you have one hell of a team. Oh my God, the Texans are looking great. And Tampa Bay, great job trying to come back, but man, you can't beat a team that has their running back in a kicker. That's the other thing too. The Texans did that without their kicker in the second half, which is just insane. Up next, we have the Washington Commanders beating the New England Patriots by a score of 20-17. This game was a lot closer than I would have ever expected it to be. Washington almost choking it. It was bad for Washington. They escaped with a win they should have easily had, but it was a lot closer than it had any right to be. New England playing up, but also the offense is getting flustered, especially Mac Jones, with the lack of production from Bill Belichick's offense and his offensive coordinators. Up next, we have the Chicago Bears falling to the New Orleans Saints by a score of 24-17. Chicago was unable to keep the early game momentum they had and ended up falling off. The Saints doing a great job of making a strong comeback effort. This team putting up 3 decent weeks back-to-back. That is impressive out of this team. They're starting to play up to their potential, and they are looking dangerous. I want to see how they fare these next couple weeks, but I am starting to think this team is very scary down the stretch here. Up next, we have the Indianapolis Colts beating the Carolina Panthers with 2 pick sixes by a final score 27-13. Indianapolis able to stay one step ahead of the Colts, and just those 2 pick sixes were all the difference. Offensively, they were inept. Defensively, if it weren't for them pick sixes, they were struggling. But Carolina doing what they can, but Bryce Young, we got to have a talk, man. We got to have a talk. 2 pick sixes in a game, 3 interceptions. Are you kidding me? That is absolutely embarrassing for that stat line against the Colts defense, which isn't known for being great too. So keep that in mind. There are genuine concerns for Bryce Young at this point. Up next, we have the New York Giants losing Daniel Jones on an ACL tear, falling to the Las Vegas Raiders, who finally put up a lot of points, 30-6. Man, was Josh McDaniels holding this team back that much? Oh my gosh. 30 points? They haven't put up 30 points all season, and they made it look effortless, putting up 24 of them in the first half, which was already a season record if I'm not mistaken. Meanwhile, the Giants, y'all are screwed. You don't have a quarterback now with, oh my gosh, you have nothing. Daniel Jones is out. Tyrod Taylor, possibly done for the season. You're starting Danny DeVito. Or Tommy DeVito, not Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito is the trash man. But anyway, y'all are struggling. And y'all are in hell right now. There's no other way to put it. Y'all, just please, just go to bed and wake up next season, because it ain't going to help you. Up next, we have the Dallas Cowboys falling to the Philadelphia Eagles 28-23. And Philadelphia, what was that? You collapsed. You had a 28 to 17 point lead, and you did nothing from there. You got bailed out, especially on that last drive too. From what it looked like, it looked very sketchy. I didn't actually watch it, but it looked a bit sketchy from what I saw on Twitter. Dallas, great job trying to come back. Tough loss, but y'all are starting to look a lot better. You are looking a lot better these last couple weeks than you have all season. Up next, we have the Buffalo Bills losing in the jungle to the Cincinnati Bengals by a final score of 24-18. Cincinnati had a hot start, dominating the line of scrimmage all game. That was Cincinnati's game to lose, and they did not lose it. Meanwhile, Buffalo started out good, and then they got lost in the jungle. Axl Rose welcomed them to the jungle, and they were lost as soon as that happened. So Buffalo's taking a tough loss here, but this win is huge for Cincinnati. I was saying it last night on the stream. If Cincinnati lost this game, they lost the AFC North. It's going to be an uphill battle for them now, down behind 2 games. But they have a lot better of a chance now than had they have lost that game. So that is a huge season saver for Cincinnati. Alright, and last but not least for this video, we do have the Los Angeles Chargers absolutely dominating the New York Jets. Final score will be down here. I am recording this during the end of that game right now, so we don't have the final score just yet. But the Chargers have full-on dominated this game. Defensively, they took out the Jets. Offensively, they didn't do a lot, but the Jets defense will make anyone look bad. But the Jets offense just absolutely struggling. The defense can only do so much, and it just was bad. Turnovers galore, leading to points, and it was absolutely ugly for the Jets. Jets are in serious trouble. The Chargers are starting to look better, and we'll see how the rest of these teams play out for the rest of the year. Alright, well that's about gonna do it for me today. If you guys did like, don't forget to smash like and subscribe, as at the time of recording, we are 1 subscriber away from that 400 milestone. If we can hit that, that would be absolutely amazing. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you check out our predictions video down here, just to see how wrong we were this week in predictions. And with that, I will see you guys later. Peace out and have a good one.